With one precise and desperate bullet, the biggest conglomerate in the world, Chairman Cao, falls to his death. His numerous bodyguards immediately intervene, one taking out the perpetrator with 3 shots, but he is more than satisfied. The only fairness in this world is that everyone only dies once. Cao must be surprised. He lived like a king all his life, only to die by the hands of a nobody like him. All that rivaling wealth cannot do anything to save him now. In his last moments, the perpetrator thinks that he finally avenged his mother and father, but he also wonders why fate was so cruel. Why did he have to lose everything and live like this? As he closes his eyes for the last time, he refuses to accept this. He does not want to resign to such a fate. Suddenly though, as he is pulled into the dark abyss of death, he wakes up somewhere else, in a rather comfortable bed. He takes his bearings, and immediately jumps up, wondering what happened. Was he not killed? However, as he looks around, he sees that he is in his old apartment from when he was a student. Perhaps he got reborn into the past or something. Sure enough, on the open TV, a commercial for a new immersive VR MMO appears, Conviction, with its open beta exploding in popularity. This means that it just opened its servers, so he really came back, didn't he? His name is Nie Yan. The people he is looking at now in this photo are his parents. Back in that past or in the near future, his parents traded strategic metals at the border. The state bought them at a massive markup, earning their family a fortune. Later on, his father started a melting company, and they became wealthy overnight. However, that good did not last. When he was 25, Cao's Century Financial Group targeted his father's business. The friends his father trusted, the ones he built up the business with, were bought off, and they betrayed him. The company collapsed and went bankrupt. His father decided to take his own life, and his mother shortly died after that of a broken heart. He looks at himself in the mirror and thinks that it's a pity, that wealth made him lazy. He wasted his life, accomplishing nothing, with no way out. Thus, that's why he chose a last resort to take him down with him. Now, though the heavens have given him a second chance, this time he won't lose a single damn thing. Conviction is a cross-era holographic game that will change the world. Countless financial groups will join in. This is where Chaos Century Financial Group actually began to rise. Conviction quickly became humanity's second world. In his past life, he was level 180, and the Great Thief. He checks his phone and sees that today it's July 25th, meaning that Conviction has only been open for 7 days. He can make it. This is his perfect chance for a comeback. The highest level on the leaderboard right now should only be level 5. With his memories of the future, he can definitely catch up to them if he remembers right. He still has some savings left. It should be enough for an entry-level gaming helmet at least. He pulls on his clothes and tells Cao to just wait. He destroyed his family in the future, but this time, he will shape it with his own hands to make sure that it does not happen again. After coming back home, he takes the headset and puts it on his head. Even though he is starting 7 days behind everyone else, he will crush every rival and stand out at the summit of this game. As he enters the game, it welcomes him and tells him to select a country. Conviction is split into 3 factions. The lawful good righteous faction holds the Viridian and Satran empires. The Viridian Empire is a human nation ruled by the Council of Elders. Satran is a tribal alliance of dwarves, orcs, and elves. The lawful evil dark faction consists of demons and undead tribes ruled by dictators. Peace lovers can choose the lawful good, neutral factions like giant tribes. In his past life, he chose the Viridian Empire's Gale Thief class. After pouring years of blood, sweat, and tears into it, he knows every skill and quest like the back of his hand. Choosing Gale Thief again is the only way to abuse his rebirth advantage to the absolute maximum. Thus, he chooses as such and also chooses the Viridian Empire. Lastly, the game asks him for a name, which he puts as Nirvana Flame. With that, he enters the game in the middle of the city and immediately checks his stats. He is amazed. He has not felt it in a while. He really is back. The game has granted him 5 points, so he will add 3 in Vitality and 2 in Agility. He messed up his build in his last life and wasted so much time, so he will not make a single mistake while here. This place is called the Calorie Teleport Point, which can send him to various cities, towns, and villages. Suddenly he sees someone advertising something. A top-tier level 0 common dagger to attack, 1 point higher than the starter gear, for only 2 copper coins. Yan thinks that common daggers sell for 1 copper in the shop, and with a free teleport, that's an easy buy. He foolishly bought one in his past life, only to realize that he'd been scammed later. However, the current him remembers everything clearly. Somewhere nearby, another player is selling something, a stealth skill book for only 6 copper coins. The others around believe that 6 coppers is a ripoff. It's not that they wouldn't want it, but everyone is pretty broke at this level. However, Yan just approaches and asks how much for the book. The seller notes that the market price is 6 copper, and Jan thinks that stealth is the core skill for thieves in the early game. He definitely needs this. Based on his experience, there is a hidden chest in the cat zone of Tracktown. The skill itself will skyrocket his leveling speed. That's a level 5 zone though. Most players are level 2 or 3, so it should still be left untouched. Jan decides to haggle. He does not have any money, so he wants that stealth book for free. In return, he will tell him a secret, a way to farm over a dozen stealth books a day. The seller tells him to beat it. He wonders where a nobody like him even came from. He's trying to scam him out of a skill book when he is level 0. Jan tells him to calm down. If he guessed right, those books are farmed from the felon shamans in Linktown, aren't they? The seller is shocked that he knows, and Jan also tells him the exact coordinates. The seller is actually pretty confused now. He actually knows the coordinates. So is what he said previously true? Can he really make a dozen skill books a day? The merchant, in him, overrides his worries, and he gives Jan the stealth book. It's just one book after all. If he can farm 3 a day, this one will be his. Jan gracefully accepts the business and tells him to go to 3 specific coordinates. It is near the fallen shaman camp. He can farm plenty there. The merchant agrees he will head there right now, and Jan tells him to be careful. Additionally, fallen shamans drop the owl's insight skill. If he gets extras, he would want one too, if he doesn't mind. The merchant immediately hops in the portal and tells him not to worry. If this truly works, he will send one the moment it drops, as a sign of goodwill. After he disappears, Jan goes to the portal circle too. Now that he has the stealth skill, it is time to crack that hidden chest. He makes his way to Tracktown, which is not as populated as the starting area, and immediately uses the stealth book, which gives him the stealth ability, allowing him to enter a concealed state, making him harder to detect. Jan activates it, and immediately dashes through the people and out of Tracktown, going inside the forest at amazing speeds. He arrives at the wild cat zone, where a bunch of wild cats, some with one eye, are walking around. However, in that area, on top of a tree, stands a silver chest. Chests in Conviction are ranked like this: common, silver, gold, dark, and legendary. The higher the rank, the better the loot inside. The loot is fixed, so once someone loots it, the chest simply vanishes. That's the hidden chest in the wild cat zone. As expected, nobody has gotten to it yet. This is the level 5 zone. Usually it would mean the end for a level 0 like him. The upside is that, even if he does die, there is no XP to lose. He activates stealth and dashes inside, going past most of the cats. Right next to the tree holding the silver chest, his stealth only lasts 2 minutes. Opening the chest takes time, so he has to be swift. Suddenly though, one of the cats notices him and swipes at him, but he dodges in time. He cannot get too close to the wild cats either, as he will definitely get spotted. After that, he dashes away, throwing himself upwards and landing right next to the chest. With that, he begins opening it. It keeps calm, as the stealth could break at any second. Just as his stealth begins to slowly dissipate, the chest opens, and Jan gets what he was actually here for: his perfect path to leveling. This is the Vital Strike skill book, which deals damage to weak points. A perfect skill for a thief like him. He is glad to see that he got the drop he wanted. It is a top-tier thief skill available even at level 0. With this, the early game grind just got twice as fast. He immediately learns it and stealth officially ends, causing all of the wild cats to become wary of his actual position. However, he does not fight fate. He simply falls down and lets himself go. He apologizes to the cats for stringing them along so long. They kill him, but in Conviction, death means losing XP and gear. Since he is level 0 and only has starter gear, dying costs absolutely nothing. The system confirms his death, and he has only dropped his starter gloves. Thus, he will be teleported to the nearest town. Jan is glad to see himself back. This was basically a free teleport. Now it is time for phase 2 of his leveling plan. He dashes through the streets and arrives at a more rural-looking part of the city. Phase 2 of his leveling requires at least 20 copper coins, but new accounts only start with 10. He needs to make some quick cash. If memory serves him right, there is a hidden NPC quest right here. Sure enough, he begins picking up quests left and right. One from Hunter's Claws, where he has to collect 20 silver gray giant red skulls, and one from a farmer who wants him to kill 50 silver gray giant rats. He also triggers a hidden quest from the apothecary. He happened to need some potion ingredients, so could he gather some for him? Jan did this knowingly. One can only get the apothecary's quest if they have already accepted the other 2. This is a secret mechanic only he knows about. He graciously accepts the quest, which makes him collect 21 silver gray giant rat tails, combining all of the quests together under one enemy. He goes to the field where the silver gray giant rats are, which have 53 HP at level 1. Using Vital Strike, he is able to take one down in just 2 shots. He gains 1 red skull and 1 red tail as a reward. Additionally, and surprisingly, he gains a gear drop too, the tough leather leggings. They are of white quality, but are good enough for now. They gave him 4 defense and weigh 3 pounds. However, they are only restricted to the warrior class. Still, this is a pretty good drop. If he tosses them on the auction house, he will definitely get at least 7 copper for them. The other rats notice his presence and begin jumping in, but using Vital Strike again and again, he takes them out with relative ease. 1 hour later, he goes back to the rural village and completes all the quests at once. Thus he gains 34 copper and 3 minor instant HP potions. He puts the leggings on the auction house. Now his next stop will be the weapon shop. He goes there, and the NPC welcomes him warmly. He asks what he can help him with. Their weapons are the best in the Western Greenlands at least. Jan has specifications. He needs a crossbow. It needs to be a level 0 requirement, have 3+ attack or higher, and additionally a fire rate of 12 minimum. Price also needs to be under 40 copper. The NPC has just what he needs. His masterpiece, the rapid-fire hand crossbow. It comes with a triple shot effect. It has +5 attack. Its base fire rate is 8. However, the triple shot boosts it to 15. Its range is 30 yards and the price is only 35 copper. Does this suit his needs? Jan knows that he will take it and slams the money on the counter. Additionally, he will also get 9 bundles of rough iron bolts, the 1000 pack kind. With this, he has paid 44 copper coins, but in return, he has gained an item much needed for his leveling journey. Now, he will be heading to the Bison Zone. Conviction has a strict level of suppression. Every 5 levels is a massive threshold. Bison are level 8 right now. Even the rank 1 player in the world could not touch them, let alone the Bison Chieftain. Every chieftain in Conviction is a rare elite enemy. However, with his knowledge from the future, he can take it down, despite the level gap. Even if he is only level 0, he arrives at the Wild Bison Zone, at exactly the specific coordinates he has been searching for. If he remembers right, this should be the spot. Sure enough, he finds it. The zone boss, the Bison Chieftain, is level 8 and has 300 HP. He is glad to see it here. Perfect. The distance is exactly within his range too. He lets 3 arrows fly at once, but the 2 miss, and only 1 hits for 1 damage. This is because the level gap is too large. However, it does not matter. He bought 9,000 bolts. He'll cheese this boss to death if he has to. He continues pelting the bison with arrows, which naturally gets mad and begins charging at him. However, Jan has placed himself strategically so that the chieftain cannot get to him. This is a glitch spot, confirmed through his history. He cannot touch him up here, no matter how much he tries. With that, he continues pelting the bison chieftain with thousands of bolts, going through them with relative ease. 3 hours later, the bison is still alive. He has used over 4,000 bolts. How is this thing still alive? He continues pelting it with bolts, and eventually the last bit of HP falters, and the bison chieftain is officially dead. Because of the extremely large level gap, he gains 1,800% more XP, giving him 8,290 experience. He knew this was the real strategy. This has boosted him straight to level 2. Additionally, he also gets to see what kind of loot he got. Fortune smiles upon him as he gains a horned bronze dagger. Gear in Conviction is ranked like chests, from common, which is white, all the way to legendary. Since rare spawns like chieftains and elites are scarce, stat gear drop rates are 1 in 1,000, so every single piece is like a treasure. A bronze weapon has 20% more attack than normal gear, plus it also has a bonus stat. The chieftain drops level 5 gear, so this dagger is worth at least 3 silver coins. However, he needs to identify it to see the stats first. He opens his menu and sees that he has sold the tough leather leggings for 8 copper. Additionally, a player by the name of Flying Stone is requesting a call with him, which Jan guesses is the merchant that he sold the info to. Sure enough, it is as such. He explains that he went to those coordinates to farm, and it actually works. He already got 2 stealth books, and his leveling speed has increased by up to 50% at least. He calls him boss and notes that he only gave him 1 book, but he got a god-tier farming spot. Jan tells him to calm down. When Owl's insight drops, he should just remember to send him a copy if he is so keen on paying him back. Flying Stone agrees. If it drops, he will send it immediately. How did he know about that spot? Is he not level 0? Jan explains that he had an account before. He deleted it and re-rolled a tier. Flying Stone understands. He must have been a top-tier ranker then. By the way, did his main ever run the Fallen Shaman camp? His team wiped on it a few times recently, and they've lost a lot of gear and XP. Jan tells him it's not a problem. He has a full, clear guide, actually, for 2 silver and no bargaining. Flying Stone is amazed. He seriously has a guide for the Shaman camp. Jan confirmed as such, and Flying Stone has no reason not to trust him anymore. So for a measly 2 silver, He will definitely convince the team captain with that. They close the call, and Jan gets to identifying this dagger. He goes to track down, and goes to an appraiser. She asks if he wants something identified, and he gives her the dagger. She explains that the identification fee is 10 copper, surprising him. As in Conviction, NPCs' identification fees are 5% of the recycle price. Market price is usually 6 times that, so this bronze cap dagger is worth at least 12 silver. He gives the 10 copper immediately, and the appraiser gets to work. Soon, he sees that this is actually a pretty incredible piece of gear. Besides requiring 0 level, it has 18 attack and a strength modifier of +5. With this, it has nearly 10 times more attack than a normal dagger. He is practically invincible in the early game now. Fate has really smiled upon him. Jan thinks that this is the perfect setup. He has a weapon, vital strike, and stealth. The only thing he is missing now is sustain for longer fights. Thieves usually pick alchemy or bandaging as professions to keep their health up. Potions are fast, but burn through money. For a reborn player like him though, gold is not an issue. Buying pots is easy, so bandaging is also the way to go. He goes to the apothecary and requests 2 minor underwater breathing potions. He wishes to learn bandage mastery first and foremost. After the apothecary gives them to him, he goes to Lake Randall, where he dashes through players fighting beasts. As out in the wild, kill steal is often the spark for arguments and player kills. He has to stay sharp. He goes right into the Fishman village. The path to the lake goes straight through it. After all, clearing this place needs a raid team of 1,000. Stealth is his only option, so he hopes he can make it through. Suddenly though, a zone announcement is given. The Victorious Return Guild is clearing this area. Non-guild players, they should vacate immediately within 3 minutes. Jan knows of them. How couldn't he? Just like in his past life. They are arrogant, bullying solo players and hunted him for months on end in the past. He will settle that score now, one piece at a time. He continues maintaining stealth and dashes through the village with relative ease. But just as it ends, and he is right in front of the lake, a fireball hits him from behind, hitting him for 23 damage. It was done by player Purple Blaze, a level 3 elementalist. He apologizes, but this is a no-fly zone for casuals like him. If he knows what's good for him, he should get lost. Jan knows that this bastard is from Victorious Return, but it's just one guy, against a mage. One closes the gap or runs like hell. However, running is not his style. He immediately closes the gap, as he knows Pyro Blast takes 2 seconds to cast. This is plenty of time to rush him. He hits Purple Blaze with his dagger for 23 damage, forcing the mage to back away. He thinks that he has a death wish. Victorious Return owns this spot. He uses the Ring of Fire, which activates a fire spell immediately in front of Jan, hitting him for 39 damage. However, he uses a minor instant recovery potion, granting him 89 health. With this opening, he charges in again, hitting Purple Blaze for 36 damage, but his Pyrokinesis Blast has gotten off cooldown, and he unleashes it again, forcing Jan to back away. Purple Blaze tells him to go to hell. This is the price he will pay for crossing Victorious Return. He prepares to unleash the mighty fireball, but Jan immediately charges in and uses Vital Strike, ending the fight. Purple Blaze is shocked. How? How did he lose? He is just a trash level 2 thief. How did he survive a fireball in the first place? Just how much HP does he have? Now he understands. He used a recovery potion. A solo level 2 thief shouldn't have the gold for that though. Jan tells him that he will have plenty of time to figure it out while he is waiting to respawn. From him, he gains a level 0 bronze staff. It's an easy 10 copper, but since Victoria's Return will be swarming around this place soon, he has to get away. They immediately confirm that a Purple Blaze is down by the lake, and they charge in, but Jan is already making his way toward the lake. The warrior of the group jumps high in the air and tries to take him out with one linear slash, but Jan dodges, proving just how fast he is. This opening allows Jan to consume the underwater breathing potion and move towards the lake at a faster speed. But the warrior and the tank refuse to let him go so easily, so they both charge in with their abilities at once in a rather direct pincer attack. However, Jan has seen this countless times, so he simply uses his power to jump away and fall into the water. The warrior wonders if Purple Blaze has respawned yet, and if so, they should ask him for the thief's ID. One confirms as such. He said that his name is Nirvana Flame, and now that they have his name, they will never forget this. He will have to watch his back constantly from now on. As Jan continues to dive, he is glad that he has finally lost them. He remembers a chest down here somewhere. Sure enough, he finds it, and inside, he also finds a fisherman's water-repellent pearl. It is a special item that grants underwater breathing for 30 minutes. It is not exactly a rare drop per se, but it is a lifesaver at this moment. Suddenly though, before he can get out of the water, the fishermen begin descending on him, throwing their tridents at him. It seems that he swam right into one of their dens, and Jan knows that he is dead meat if he fights with them underwater. Before they can fully descend on him, though, the fishermen are distracted by their village being attacked by Victoria's return, so they immediately charge back into the fray. Jan is pleased with this. Thanks to them kiting all the mobs away, the coast is clear, and he can get out of here. He makes his way onto the central lake island, where he immediately sees a girl fighting a bunch of crabs and losing. He also recognizes her. It's Yao Yao. She is a holy mage from his old party. He cannot believe he ran into her this soon. They had quite a history in his past life. Perhaps this is just fate guiding him back to her. He throws himself into the air outside of the water and uses Vital Strike on one of the crabs, while she uses Holy Judgment on the other. They continue taking them down like this until the 3 crabs are gone and they can swim to shore. Yao thanks him for the rescue, and Jan tells her not to mention it. His name is Nirvana Flame. Yao is surprised to hear this. Nirvana Flame is very silly, similar to Nie Yan. It is basically the same name translated. She thanks him for the rescue, and since he saved her, how about they add each other, so she can return the favor? Jan immediately agrees and asks what brings her to the island. Is it questing, perhaps? She confirms as such. She was actually farming the crabs for water sacks. Jan notes that he was thinking of farming them too, but he needs the fine silk. Would she like to party up? Yao notes that it works for her. She actually has some fine silk dropped earlier, so he should have it. He should consider it a thank you. She gives him 12 silk, and Jan thinks that with this, it's 36 copper easily. Is she sure? Yao confirms as such. Besides, she does not need any silk at this moment. Jan understands, and suddenly their peace is disturbed by the arrival of the Water Spider Lord Chieftain. Jan immediately forms a party with Yao and dashes in using Vital Strike on the mighty beast, dealing 52 damage to it. Yao herself uses Holy Judgment, putting the Spider Lord on the ground and dealing 70 damage to it. The beast tries to retaliate, but they both jump away, and Jan explains that he will hold the aggro. She just needs to DPS. He unleashes 3 bolts on the Spider Lord, gaining its aggro, and Yao immediately begins unleashing strike after Holy Strike, allowing them to eventually defeat the Water Spider Lord Chieftain. However, she feels pretty weird fighting with this man she just met. It feels extremely natural. Even a chieftain felt like a trash mob. She has never felt this way before. They just met, but their synergy is flawless, like they've been teammates for a while. Jan sees her staring and asks what's wrong, but she says it's nothing. It's just that he is skilled. Why does he play solo? Jan knows that it's just the way he got used to playing, but since he is solo, Yao explains that her group is raiding the Treant Forest in Tracktown. Would he like to join them? Before Yan can give her a definitive answer, he asks a few preliminary questions, like how many shield warriors the team has, and how much defense and HP they have. The Treant Forest is a level 3 dungeon. The boss Treant is a sub-elite monster. If the shield warriors don't have enough defense, it is almost impossible to clear it. Yao explains that they have 2 shield warriors. Their defense is 53, and their HP is 230. Jan thinks that's not nearly enough. The Treant King has a 2% chance to deal a critical hit, so if a shield warrior's defense isn't at least 60 points, they can easily get one-shotted. Additionally, the priest's healing needs to keep up. Yao never knew that the Treant King dealt critical hits. Nobody mentioned that. How does he know all of this? However, their team has been preparing for many days. They cannot just give up halfway now. To get defense to 60 points, they need to get at least 1 piece of bronze defense gear, which is much too difficult. Jan notes that there is another way, to let him command the team. Yao is a little hesitant, although she believes in his strength. She might not be able to convince everyone on the team, but she will try her best. With that, they move on to the boss drop to see what it has dropped. Yao immediately uses the appraisal skill, identifying these as fine silk gauntlets, a bronze quality item that gives 2 defense and 3 magic. It is mage equipment, and as such Jan asks if it's alright, but he knows that he already has his reward, the rare fine silk that the boss dropped, and additionally a thief's skill book, Assassinate. He will just be taking the 2 of these. Yao thinks that it's great. It turns out he also got a decent haul after all, so she will not be polite. Suddenly the game announces that it will close in 3 minutes for player maintenance, so they should log off. Yao does that first, and waves at him cheerfully, noting that they will see each other next time. Jan gives her a wave too, and says that he should log off as well. After doing so, he sees that it's already the morning of the 2nd day. He puts on his shoes without socks, like an actual demon, and says that the leveling journey in Conviction has paused. However, his body also needs to start exercising. Kao will inevitably have bodyguards all around him. He cannot let himself be in that same passive position. He goes outside of the apartment and is nearly hit by Truck Kun and Isekai the 2nd time. He manages to get out of the way just in time, and suddenly someone asks if he is okay. This is Zia Yao, definitely completely unrelated to Yao Yao. Yan takes her hand, and she sees that he is bleeding. He really is too careless. She has a first aid kit in her car, so he should wait a moment. Yan looks at her. She is his desk mate, and also his greatest regret from his past life. Because his personality was weak, he was never able to express feelings for her. And in the end, because she was involved with him, she was targeted by Cao's financial group, and developed a severe mental illness because of it. Yao moves in, and gently wraps his arm in a bandage, noting that he really should stop being hard on himself all the time. Yan just gives her the nonchalant Sigma stare, and she immediately backs away, wondering if anyone is even listening. Yan knows that he has her, and she walks away, muttering about who would want to take care of him as she drives off. Yao wonders if Nirvana Flame and Yan are the same. Could it really be him? But this guy seems a little different now. He has become more confident, much like Nirvana Flame in the game. Yan, if you could not tell by his expression, really is happy to see her right now. However, that madman Cao will sooner or later destroy everything he loves once again. He must put down roots in conviction as soon as possible. Only then can he change the fate of his previous life. Suddenly, he gets a call from someone called Tang Yao. How many Yaos are there? Who, upon picking up, immediately screams at Yan, asking where the hell he went. He hasn't heard from him for 2 days. He should get over here quickly. Yan confirms that he will be there, and thinks about Tang. This is his best friend. In his past life, when he fell into the abyss, he was the one who risked being detected by Cao to support him, making his life much easier secretly. However, this guy simply loves to chase women. In his last life, he fought with someone in a bar over jealousy, and ended up provoking a big shot with monstrous power. Thus, he was beaten to death and dumped in a dark alley. In this life, however, he will not let such a thing happen ever again. They eventually meet up, and Tang immediately puts a hand over his shoulder, glad to see him. He notes that the new Conviction game is popular. Is he playing too? Yan confirms as such. He is already a level 2 wind thief. Tang says it's not bad. He actually rose to level 2 already. They should go though, and look around the PK bar. He is a level 3 arcane mage. The PK bar is a game entertainment club. Players can use their own characters here to engage in competitive PK. This kind of PK does not affect the game progression at all. However, since there is competitive PK, it is inevitably accompanied by things like wagers, usually 1 or 2 pieces of equipment from the game. Tang, who loves to gamble, loves these, even though he always loses. As they walk inside, they are met by Wei Kai, who notes that he is quite punctual. Is he here to give him money again? Tang just coughs, not knowing who is going to give whom money today. Kai also sees that Yan was brought along too. Was the last lesson not enough for him, perhaps? Tang just ignores him, and tells Yan not to worry, as they won't be able to do anything to him if he is here. Kai, however, is a little confused. Why is this kid Yan so calm today? Did he get the boulder auto out all of a sudden? But what happened for that change to occur so quickly? Tang sits down and tells Kai to stop dawdling, as now they will be doing 200 per round, and he doesn't want any complaints. Kai immediately agrees, and they both put on their headsets. Yan thinks about it. Kai is a level 3 berserker, and he learned charge. This is very disadvantageous for an arcane mage like Tang. Furthermore, it is a plain terrain, difficult for arcane mages to dodge. Tang is probably going to lose the top lane. Some nobody comes to Yan with a proposal, as that kid Tang will definitely lose this round. So how about they play a round 2? Yan agrees. However, they will only be playing 1 round, and he is not interested if the wager is too small. The guy immediately gets annoyed at his arrogance and notes that he will absolutely have to teach him a lesson today. He has a total of 700s on him, just 1 match. With that, they go to a better station, where it's revealed that this man is Shi Feng, who is a level 2 ranger. They are taken into a bamboo forest terrain, and Yan uses stealth, disappearing from each other's view. Feng believes that this guy is far too arrogant for his own good. He will definitely not be losing today, but where on earth did he hide? Yan, however, can see him. He is hiding above as expected. 10 years of thief experience. So concealing his presence like this is an instinct for him. He flies right in towards Fang, and unleashes a good strike on him, taking 40 HP out of his 110. Fang tries to swing his blade behind, but Yan simply dodges and uses Vital Strike, unleashing a whopping 70 damage attack. With this incredible attack, the match is officially over, and Kai's lackeys can't believe it. Feng actually lost that quickly. Yan, just left to himself, PKing a level 2 rookie ranger, really was a bully move. Feng himself, though, is shocked. This guy used just simple movements, yet he struck exactly where it hurt. It was basically a one-hit kill. Since when did Yan become this decisive? Is this really the same timid and submissive person who used to swallow his pride and get bullied? Yan meets back with Tang, and asks how it went. He tells him not to even ask. He lost 2 matches and lost 1,200 in total. He damns that Kai. He learned the Berserker's anti-magic aura. It's a total hard counter to his arcane arts. Jan explains that actually, anti-magic aura only reduces magic damage by a tiny bit. It is not as powerful as one might think. As long as he times his spells perfectly, taking down a Berserker is quite simple. Tang knows he just messed up the timing a bit. All his skills went on cooldown, and he closed the gap and burst him down. But he does seem to know a lot more than him now. Where did he learn all of this before? Jan doesn't answer. He just shows that he won. Eventually Kai and his lackeys arrive, and one of them tells Jan not to get cocky. He actually dared to win their money. Let's see if he can do something in the real world too. Before the lackey can do anything, Jan grabs his wrist and throws him on the ground roughly. He is able to do this because in his past life he practiced a bit to deal with Chao, although not a whole lot. Tang is surprised. When did his friend become such a formidable person? Feng thinks that they should probably stop messing with him, as that guy is definitely not easy to deal with anymore, causing the other lackeys to call him a coward, but Kai just smiles. This kid Jan is indeed completely different from the past. He waves a dismissive hand at his lackeys and asks if he won against them. Jan agrees that he won one small match, although his opponent was a bit weak though. Kai understands. If that is so, would he be interested in a round with him? Jan agrees, but he does not play for small stakes. Kai agrees. 1,000 a round. He has 3,000 total here. Tang tells him that he is a level 3 Berserker, and his brother is a level 2 Gale Thief. Does he not think this is a bit of a bully move? Jan, however, doesn't mind, and actually raises the stakes. 3,000 a round. Kai immediately agrees, as he does not believe a level 2 Gale Thief can pull such a miracle as winning against him. Tang immediately grabs Jan's shoulders and asks if he's gone crazy. Does he even have that much money? Jan doesn't, but that's why he is borrowing it a bit from him. Tang just scoffs and says that he will risk his life to back him up if he has to. With that, they enter the game, and they are immediately spawned in a plains arena. Tang thinks that this is really bad. The terrain is extremely disadvantageous for a thief who needs to hide. Kai, however, feels generous, and knows that if he thinks it's unfair, they can change the map if he wants to. Jan refuses, as this grassland map is more than fine with him. He immediately uses stealth, and gets out of sight. The grass will give away his position though, and he will definitely use it to judge his movement path. He needs to use some external help, like the wind. That is why he is circling Kai again and again, making the wind pick up. Kai, in turn, swings around recklessly, thinking that this is the first time he's seen a thief use stealth to such a masterful degree. The grass that should have been his biggest weakness is actually now being used by him. Since the wind stopped when the next gust blows, that will definitely be when he strikes. He must also be moving slowly in stealth to avoid making any mistakes. He should be somewhere right in front of him. However, before Kai can do anything, Jan strikes from the back, dealing 35 damage. Kai tries to retaliate with a wide slash, but Jan gets out of the way, and then unleashes a whirlwind slash toward him. This deals only 9 damage, and Jan thinks that this is an opportunity. Using whirlwind slash with a great sword leaves a post-cast delay of about a second. That is his key to victory. As Kai smashes his sword in the ground after casting the ability, Jan jumps in, preparing a mighty vital strike. Kai's lackeys are shocked by how his kill timing was calculated perfectly. With that, he is able to deal a whopping 96 damage, leaving Kai with 34 HP, just one hit, and he is done. In his desperation, Kai unleashes a flame slash and charges in on Jan with brute force. Tang tells Jan to get out of the way quickly, and Jan knows that he is using this flame slash to force him back. As a thief, close combat is his advantage. However, his HP is still very healthy. Even if he tanks the damage from this strike, he can't break away from this advantageous combat distance. Thus, he fully tanks the flame slash, and Kai thinks that he is merely arrogant, so he unleashes one last strike slash directly towards Yan, who is now jumping away. Tang thinks that this is it. Flame slash has a brief stunning effect. If Yan gets hit now, he is done for. The lackeys think that this brat Yan is still pretending to be a big shot in front of them. Does he really think Kai's skills are just for show? However, Yan simply sidesteps his strike and grips his dagger roughly. The attack range of this strike wasn't as large as his daggers. As long as he can seize this opportunity, he will win. With that, he strikes just as Kai completes his charge, giving him a good enough window to completely eliminate his HP. As expected, Yan still got hit by the charge, but luckily, he struck first, so he wins. Tang can't believe that he won. A level 2 thief fighting a level 3 berserker, and he won. The lackeys can't believe that their boss actually lost. Why does that brat Yan know the skill range of a berserker so well? Just how did he do such a thing? Kai doesn't seem to react in any way, and Tang immediately goes to Yan, telling him that he is not bad at all. He won as a level 2 against a level 3. He also seems to know a lot about this game conviction. He wants to teach him how to play an arcane mage. Yan agrees. Suddenly Kai comes toward them with his lackeys, and Tang asks what's wrong. He is not going to say this was an unfair loss, right? Kai remains calm and asks what kind of person he took him for. He yields and accepts his loss. If they both have time in the future, they can safely come hang out at his bar. With that, he leaves with his lackeys, and one of them asks why he was being so polite to them now. Kai tells him to listen carefully. He cannot just look at a person's present. He also needs to look at the future ahead of them. That kid has changed a lot. He might skyrocket in the future, so it is best if they do not make enemies of him any longer. Yan tells Tang that since he won a lot today, they should go somewhere and eat his treat. And as for the arcane mage teachings, they will get in touch while in-game tonight. That night, Yan continues his training, thinking that his young buddy is indeed great. After working out, it is definitely the time to play Conviction. As agreed, he still needs to run the Treant Forest with Yao's team. He enters the game, and immediately gets a friend request from player Ezzy, who is likely Tang. Additionally, player Flying Stone has also deposited 1 silver coin into his personal storage, because he and his team safely cleared the fallen shaman camp, and he also asks for a walkthrough for the Ogmat Muddy Swamp. Yan accepts Tang's friend request, and notes that, since he is already here, he will take him along to the Treant Forest. As for the Ogmat Muddy Swamp walkthrough, he can't keep selling dungeon walkthroughs. Otherwise, he will definitely draw suspicion. It is best to wait until their team fails a few times, then wait to sell for a good price. Right now it's time to turn in the hidden quest. He goes to an NPC called Physician Blevis, and he asks how many silks he has collected. Yan notes that he has 30 fine silks. The physician thanks him for his kind generosity. To show his gratitude, he should please accept these 30 pieces of silk. Furthermore, he has decided to teach him a skill, the intermediate combat bandage skill. This is what Yan actually wanted, so he immediately learns it, and it gets added to his skill book. The intermediate combat bandage crafts, and uses an intermediate combat bandage. It requires 10 silk, and each combat bandage can restore 20 HP. However, the hidden quest from the physician is only 20% complete, which Yan has not seen before. Could it be that this is a chain quest? Immediately, the physician notes that the 30 fine silks are far from enough. He needs more. Could he help him find some? Yan is really glad that this is a chain quest, and immediately accepts. Before Yao calls him and notes that they've already gathered, he should come here quickly, as they're all waiting for him. Yan agrees, thinking that now, he has to look for Featherfall jewels from the Treant Forest. Tang waits for Yan in Tracktown. As he said, he would be carrying him through a dungeon, but where is he? Yan is right behind him actually, and tells him that they should go. He is going to take him farming in the Treant Forest today. Eventually the other group arrives too, with Yao and another woman, Yulan, being first. Tang thinks that these are 2 great beauties. When did Yan even meet them? Yao goes to Yan and notes that she spent a lot of effort convincing Yulan to make him join. He absolutely cannot make them lose face in front of everyone now. However, Chen Bo, a wind thief just like Yan, scoffs. Lan greets Yan, and notes that he must be the one Yao said could lead them to the Treant Forest, right? She thinks that he looks pretty steady, and his behavior is calm and unhurried. He is indeed fit and an expert, but that remains to be seen. Yan confirms he is 100% confident in clearing the Treant Forest. However, they should get this straight beforehand. He will be the team's captain, and everything must follow his exact arrangements. Nobody says anything, but the wind thief Bo asks why they should even listen to him. What if he doesn't know anything, and he gets the entire team wiped? Lan tells him to stand down. This is what they agreed upon beforehand. What kind of stunt is he thinking of pulling now? Bo just doesn't get it. Why is she speaking up for an outsider? Lan just apologizes to Yan on his behalf, and he should create the team, as she will have everyone else join it. Yan agrees that, in that case, while he is leading the team, they must absolutely obey. If anyone is dissatisfied, they can settle the score with him afterwards, and if they are unwilling, they can leave at any time. However, if anyone plays tricks while they are teamed up, or even causes a team wipe, they should not blame him for being ruthless. With that, he creates the team, and everyone else joins. Lan explains that from now on, Nirvana Flame is the captain, and his orders are her orders. If anyone plays tricks while in the dark, they will no longer have a place in her team in the future. Bo reluctantly joins the team too, and Yan explains that their goal is identical, to clear the Treant Forest's dungeon. Besides Tang and him, they are all on the same side, even if they do not like him for some reason. If any mistakes occur due to his improper command, he is willing to compensate them with 10 silver coins. Everyone is shocked, and Lan asks Yao where she found this guy. He seems confident and bold. Maybe he really can lead them to clear the Treant forest after all. Yao confirms as such. She wouldn't have introduced him if she did not think so too. Yan grabs their attention and tells everyone to report their names and stats. They should start with their shield warriors. First up is Boiled Water. He is a shield warrior. He has 61 defense, 230 HP, and 27 attack. He is the team's main tank. Up next is Boiling Water Dumplings, or Dumplings for short. He is also a shield warrior with 51 defense, 160 HP, and 28 attack. With that, they continue until everyone is accounted for. Yan tells Boiling Water to go buy a haste potion, and for Pumpkin, another player, to go buy a strength potion. Boiling Water is surprised. Potions cost dozens of copper at every turn. Is the expense not too high? Pumpkin agrees. Even if they clear the forest, it's hard to say if they made their money back. Bo decides to throw some shade. He thought he actually had some real skills, but buying so many potions, even if he was the leader, he couldn't clear the Treant forest. Tang coughs. He talks so much nonsense. Could it be that he doesn't have the money to buy potions? If he doesn't, he can lend him some. Bo sees the shade in his eyes and asks him to repeat that, but Tang notes that he heard him. Is he perhaps a poor bastard? Yao is also a bit confused. Does clearing a normal difficulty Treant Forest dungeon really require this many potions? They will not be able to make their money back if they buy them. Yan tells her that she will see why when the time comes. Him ordering them to buy potions is definitely not a waste of money. What he wants actually is not to clear the normal difficulty, but the highest difficulty, expert grade dungeon. Lan chooses to trust him and tells them to buy the potions as he said. After everyone finished buying the potions, they all head out and go to the dungeon summoning stone area. Yan tells them to wait a moment as he will open the dungeon. He begins chanting something to the stone, and it slowly but surely comes to life as a bunch of wind blows throughout that part of the forest. With that, he is asked to please select the difficulty of the dungeon. Yan immediately picks expert, and they are all sent to the Treant forest, with everyone now knowing that this is an expert grade dungeon. Pumpkin asks what's going on. This is an expert grade. Did he perhaps the captain choose the wrong one, right? Another one agrees. How could they possibly clear such a thing? Lan thinks that's not it. A person like him could not possibly make such a rookie mistake. Could it be that he planned to conquer the expert grade difficulty right from the beginning? Bo thinks that he understands now though. He is intentionally trying to get them wiped, right? Have they done anything wrong to him, making him insist on choosing the expert grade difficulty, preparing to cause a team wipe, and make them drop experience? Yan explains that since he was the one who brought them in, he naturally has a way to bring them out. If he is dissatisfied, he can leave the team. Yao decides to intervene, noting that Nirvana Flame is a friend whom she invited. If he does have a problem with her, he should say so directly, as there is no need to constantly target him. Bo immediately recedes, saying that that's not it. He does not have a problem with her at all. Bo is also extremely jealous now. He did not expect Yao Yao to speak up for an outsider. This damn bastard. Yan, to quell their fear, explains that expert grade difficulty really isn't that hard. It is just that a mob's enemy HP is 30% higher, and it requires a bit more defense from the shield warriors and dealing damage from the mages. That's all. Additionally, the boss, the Treant King, has quite a few changes. Lan is surprised he's saying this so lightly, but in a dungeon, even the slightest deviation, like 1% HP, 1 point of defense, or magic damage, could lead to a team wipe, let alone a 30% gap in HP. Where exactly does this confidence of his come from? Yao asks if he is truly confident about this. If it really doesn't work well, they will wipe. Yan tells her to relax. It won't be a problem, and Bo just coughs to himself. He'd like to see how exactly he commands everyone to clear an expert grade dungeon. They continue walking through the forest, and as a bunch of tendrils springs up on them, Yan tells them to be careful. They've entered the Treant attack range. The Treant will attack with vines, so everyone should spread to the sides. They all do so, except Bo, who gets caught up by one of the tendrils, and is immediately taken hostage by a Treant. He immediately begs to be helped by Yan, getting all of his hatred for him for that moment. As the others panic, Yan immediately gives out orders. He barks Boiling Water and Dumplings to attack from the right side, while the paladins form a human wall, and the mages use their full firepower. They immediately begin doing so, the tanks charging at the Treant side before the mages unleash a flurry of mighty spells, which immediately take out the Treant. Bo just falls on his back, and immediately begins to blame Yan again. He definitely did that on purpose, didn't he? He spotted the Treant in advance and did not warn him. Otherwise, in such an urgent emergency, how could he possibly comment so calmly? Yan tells him to get his facts straight. They discover the Treant together. Even the shield warrior dodged it. As a thief, how could he not? He really does not know how he plays a thief. Tang tells him that blaming others when his skills aren't up to par is truly a hilarious thing to see. Grabbing any random thief off the street would probably be better than this guy. Bo is about to try to hit him, but Lan tells him that this is enough. Has he not embarrassed the entire team enough already? Bo is shocked that she is taking their side too, but Yan notes that they've had enough of a chat. They should keep moving forward. There are many traps laid by dark elves in the Treant forest. He will clear the way. Since he doesn't know how to play thief, he should watch him. Yan charges in first with the entire team and triggers a falling log trap, but he simply gets out of the way and leaves before it can unleash its detonation. From above, the net falls, but he cuts it up with his knife. Shocking tank. He didn't realize this guy played thief so smoothly. Lan thinks he is agile too. His trap cleaning efficiency is simply too high. Bo coughs and charges in, asking what's so great about that. Clearing traps is something he can do too. However, immediately upon stepping foot outside of the safe area, he triggers a pitfall and falls to his death onto a bunch of spikes. Before that can happen though, Yan grabs his leg and throws him on the ground, noting that it's the first time he is seeing such a noob thief. Bo notes that he was the one who set him up. He clearly saw him walk past there just now, so why is he fine? Tang calls him an ungrateful wretch instantly. If Nirvana Flame had not saved him, he would be dead right now. Yan explains that he stepped into the trap himself. It's not like he was the one who pushed him inside. Is everywhere he walks guaranteed to be safe? Ultimately, he is simply not worthy of playing a wind thief. Bo has had enough of this disgrace. Let's duel 1v1 if he has the guts, as he will kill him. He charges in with his blade adamantly, but Yan just catches it between two fingers, noting that he better call up a few more people if he wants to make this not end instantly. Bo is shocked, and Lan tells them that this is enough. Bo was the one who carelessly stepped into the trap, so why is he taking the anger out on Nirvana Flame? Yao agrees it was Nirvana Flame who saved him, and he actually put the blame on him. She did not expect him to be this kind of person. Both things that this is all his fault. He deliberately framed him. He didn't tell him there was another trap there. Besides, they are just teammates. He is just an outsider. How can they speak up to an outsider? Boiling Water tells him that this is enough. Their leader did nothing wrong. He is the one who's constantly targeting him. Everyone can see it. Bo is shocked that even they agree, and just left to himself, feeling completely betrayed. Fine. Then he wants to see how he leads them out of this dungeon without dying. With that, he leaves the party, and Yao apologizes to Yan. She invited him to run the dungeon, but she did not expect him to run into such a situation. Yan says it's fine. It's actually better without a troublemaker. However, it seems that in the future, if he wants to run a dungeon, he will have to form a party of his own. Lan notes that they will talk about it after they get out and decide what to do then. Now they should run the dungeon. Half an hour later, they come up to a place filled with Trents. Yan has scouted it ahead and saw it beforehand. There are a total of 18 Trents. Lan thinks that they cannot handle something like this, but Yan tells her not to worry. He is not stupid enough to make them fight that many Trents at once. He jumps up on a tree and summons his crossbow as he wants to let them witness what god-tier aggro pulling really looks like. Yan immediately lets 3 bolts fly, and they do so in different directions. Dumpling wonders what's going on. Did he really shoot a crossbow? Perhaps his hand slipped? Boiling Water believes so too. If those arrows start at the Trants, they are all done for. Yan jumps off the tree and tells Boiling Water to go to the exact coordinates he is giving him now. He immediately does so, and the bolts that he shot move in 3 different directions. Lan is amazed by such miraculous skill. She did not expect him to be able to use a 3-shot hand crossbow to hit 3 different locations in one go. This kind of technique she's only heard of in legends. She asks Yao where on earth she found such a master. Those 18 Treants are very close to each other. If one hits just one of them, the others will immediately swarm over. However, Nirvana Flame not only found a perfect spot, but also successfully lured them away. This is a huge test of thieves' eyesight and agility. Even elite thieves on the leaderboards would not be able to do something like this. If their team had a tiff like this earlier, then danger survivor rate would have increased by at least 30%. With that, the main group charges in, and Yan tells Boiling Water to go block a Trent. He should remember, as long as he steadies his center of gravity, it can't do anything to him. Everyone else will follow him and focus fire on the remaining one. They begin doing so, taking down the Treant with relative ease, and Dumpling is surprised that what a Nirvana Flame just said actually works. He is not getting pushed back at all. Lan tells him to hold on. They've already taken care of things here. They are coming to support him right away. With that, they eliminate the Trent Boiling Water was holding too, and this one actually drops a piece of equipment. It is a mage's bronze-grade gauntlets. Dumpling is surprised. Perhaps this is the wealth of an expert great dungeon. They just casually killed 2 Trents, and they already drop equipment? Yao approaches Yan and asks how exactly he went and did that. It was incredible. He knows that he would lead them to clear an expert-grade dungeon, and he plans to keep his promise. Alright, now they will use this method to finish off all the treants here. They continue doing so, pulling aggro of 2 at once and then killing them. Around 20 minutes later, they all huddle up and put the equipment they got on the ground. They never expected the yields of an expert-grade dungeon to be this amazing. They merely cleared out the treants here, and so much equipment dropped at once. Jan, however, sees something lurking in the shadows and gets up. This is just the beginning. The yields of the expert-grade treant forest are far more than just this. They should all rest up a bit, as then they will be continuing forward. As they continue, they encounter a crossroads, and Jan notes that they will be heading west. Lan is confused, as shouldn't they be heading east now? If she remembers correctly from the map, the west is a dead end. Jan tells them to just trust and follow him, thinking that this branching storyline is hidden very deep inside. He is afraid that currently, nobody in the entire Conviction game has discovered this. As they continue walking, they are suddenly met by the song of a flute, and they find its perpetrator, the treant herder Jan Pot, the guardian of the jungle. Originally under his management, treants and humans coexisted peacefully, but for some unknown reason, traces of dark cultists appeared in the dark in the treant forest. The treants suddenly broke free of control and started slaughtering people. The Greenland Council of Elders deliberately planned to personally enter the Trent Forest to crusade against the Trent King. This is the storyline of the Trent Forest dungeon. Jan Pot notices them and notes that this is a dangerous area. The Trents will kill every human that enters. They should leave at once, as once night falls under the moonlight, the Trents will gain a bizarre and powerful strength. Jan bows down, calling him the respected Trent herder, and explains that they came here exactly to eradicate the Trents and bring them to justice. Jan Pot immediately disagrees. The ones who deserve death are those wild beasts from the underground. They are the ones who should receive God's judgment. They are the ones who stole his flute. Lan thinks that this is triggering a hidden storyline, but how is he able to find such a hidden NPC? Just who exactly is this guy? Tang is surprised too, wondering when this kid became so amazing. Jan knows that if they do not trigger this storyline, they will not be able to defeat the expert-grade Trent King. Jan agrees as such. It's them. He noticed them the moment they entered the forest. May the holy light purify those blasted monsters. Those blasted dark elves. They stole his flute, which is what caused the treant forest to fall into such chaos. This is the dust of appearance he developed. It will leave them with nowhere to hide. He should kill them, take back his flute, and they will be able to then defeat the out-of-control treant king. They are granted a dungeon special item, the Dust of Appearance. It is a consumable that reveals all hidden creatures within a 30-yard radius. Since now they have the special item, they should just follow after him. With that, he descends the mountain on a rope he placed, and they all follow. As they walk, Len wonders if he is able to find the dark elves that the NPC mentioned. Jan confirms as such, and they walk across a precarious-looking stone bridge in a ravine. It is right here. They are going to catch them like turtles in a jar, and grab those 2 dark elves. Yao asks how he knew there were dark elves here, and Jan explains that they've been following them from the very beginning. They are already here, right behind them. Jan explains that the 2 dark elves are very timid. They must finish this in one fell swoop. Otherwise, it will be hard to catch them. They continue walking, the dark elves thinking that they are not spotted. And suddenly Jan uses one of the dungeon items and immediately makes them appear. They begin running towards the exit, but they are suddenly stopped by boiling water and Tang, forcing them to attack. They first move on to Tang, but boiling water simply blocks their strikes, and Tang summons a fireball to deal with one of them. With that, everyone from the party joins in. Jan goes for the dark elf. He tries to claw at him, but Jan just dodges and uses a vital hit before Lan comes in and deals a finishing blow. With that, they got it. The flute. They can smoothly clear the treant forest now. This is a quest item with a requirement level of 0. It is a flute used by the herder of the treant tribe. It can make Tria tremble in fear. It gives them minus 50 HP in total. Yao thinks that there is something else here though. He should come quickly and have a look. It is some sort of letter. It seems that they have triggered the branching storyline. The secret letter to General Varatan reminding him to guard against the Drower tribe's counterattack. Yao asks what's written, as she can't read the text on it at all. Jan explains that it's a branching storyline. Once they clear all the treant forest, they just need to return to the city and turn in this quest. Nobody expected this unexpected surprise. They wonder how much reward they can get for turning in this quest. Jan hands Boiling Water the flute, since he is the main tank of the group, and it also gives 300 HP in turn. With that, they move out, and Tang thinks that Jan is pretty good. At first, the people in this team were dissatisfied with him, so he did not expect their attitudes to change so quickly. But as expected of his brother, they continue taking down Treant, and eventually they gain another item, a bronze-grade round shield that adds 10% more defense. Lan turns to Yan and knows that this request is asking a bit much, but after all, they've only managed to grind these pieces of equipment under his leadership. She hopes to be able to buy this round shield from him. Yan explains that he only needs thief equipment and the Featherfall jewel from the Trant King. The other equipment would just be sold for money if given to him, so selling is selling, no matter who it is too. Since the guys need it, they should take it first. Yao apologizes for making him take a loss, and also thanks him for carrying them. Ground beneath them flourishes, and a dozen tendrils come out of the ground. Yan tells them to pay attention. As the boss has arrived, they should all get ready and set up formation. Shield warriors will go up to tank first, but they will all listen to his commands. The Trant King, a level 4 lord, has arrived and damned them for coming here today, thinking they dare intrude upon his territory. He will send them all to the pits of hell. The Trant King tries to hit Yan, but he simply dodges, surprising everyone with his skillful moves. As he climbs the Trant King's hand, he tells boiling water to tank it. The melee damages will follow behind him, and the mages and magic classes are strictly forbidden from coming within 30 yards of the Trant King. Boiling water does so, charging immediately at the Trant King, but its defenses are extremely high. Yan orders the mages to attack, and slowly but surely, they begin to overwhelm him. The magic blasts permeate through the area, but the Trant King still stands. Yan tells boiling water to use the flute. Upon immediately doing so, the Trant King's stats go down by 50%. This is the opportunity Yan has been waiting for. He tells the mages to prioritize fire attribute spells, no ice spells. The Trant King's ice resistance is way too high after all. They all agree, especially Tang, since fire spells are literally his specialty. He goes to a nearby priest and asks if she has the dispel skill, which she does. Yan tells her to keep her eyes pointed at boiling water. The Trant King is about to cast fear. If boiling water gets CC'd, she should cleanse him immediately. The priest sheepishly agrees, but Yan tells her to not be nervous and just relax. He will call it out. She just needs to cast this spell the second he tells her to. As if summoned by his words, the Trant King immediately uses his fear on boiling water, and Yan tells her to cast cleanse, and she does so, making him able to stay in the fight. She is glad to see that it actually worked, and they continue cutting the Trent down, leaving it with only a quarter of its HP. Yan tells everyone to brace themselves as the boss is now entering its enraged state. Just the sheer aura he is exuding is pushing everyone back. Yan rushes in, telling boiling water to switch to their defensive stats, and also telling the priest to chug their mana pots and spam heals while they are at it. They all begin doing so, allowing boiling water to stay in the fight even if the Trent King is doing 200 damage per hit. However, he cannot last much longer. The heals do help though. If it weren't for them and the flute, there would be no way he would survive this burst. Now he also understands why Nirvana Flame made them stock up on pots earlier, as this is really helping. Suddenly, the Trent King lets out an earth-splitting strike, and Yan tells them that this is their chance. The boss has low HP, so they will focus fire and burst it down. With that, everyone uses their cooldowns efficiently, and Yan is the last to strike, throwing his knife and using a vital strike before pushing the knife into the Trant King's head using his foot. With that, the boss is defeated. They actually did it. They never thought their party comp could actually beat an expert for a Trant run. The priest thinks that this is all Nirvana's shot calling. Without him, they would have definitely choked. Boiling Water agrees he's never dreamed he would actually tank an expert boss solo. This rush of accomplishment is amazing. They all level up, and Yan is granted what he wanted, the Featherfall Jewel. This is an accessory equipable or slottable. It gives 8 defense, 7 strength, and has the effect of drastically reducing the user's weight, making them as light as a feather for 3 minutes. Yan also gains a level up, getting him to level 3. Clearing the expert Trent Forest dungeon grants the team 1,200 team glory. Nobody has seen it increase this much before. Yan leaves the rest of the loot for them to split amongst themselves. Now they just need to head to Calorie City to return the quest. They actually have forgotten about the side quest rewards, and Lan thanks Nirvana Flame. She doesn't even know how to properly thank him, except this. They all make their way back to Calorie City, and Bo has been waiting for them all this time. He sees that they actually got back. How did every single one of them level up? He will remember this, Nirvana Flame. He will never forget the humiliation he brought upon himself for the rest of his life. They go to the Calorie City military camp, and Kavarot, the warlord, asks Yan what brings him here. Yan hands him the letter, noting that they've captured 2 dark elves in the dark forest, and they've obtained intelligence regarding the Hilton stronghold. Kavarot reads this with a surprised face, and notes that he has done them a huge favor. Because of this side quest, he gains 12 reputation with the Hilton stronghold, 10 reputation with the city, and 32,000 experience. Kavarot has also imparted combat techniques to them. He gains 2 strength, 2 silver coins, and the stun skill book. Yan certainly didn't expect to get 2 strength and a skill book. This hidden quest really was a massive profit. Yao asks what he is going to do next, and naturally, Yan explains that he will be grinding monsters to level up. He thinks that now, with the Featherfall Jewel, he can try farming the elite monster Lion King Kato. Yao waves at him and hopes that they will see each other soon. Once the pieces of equipment are sold, she will email the money to him. Immediately, Tang falls to his knees and hugs him, calling him a god. After running a dungeon with him once, he is completely convinced he should hurry and teach him how to play an arcane mage. Yan tells him to stop and agrees, but they should go and change their equipment first. They go to the blacksmith shop, and Yan buys a bunch of stuff like the bronze gauntlets, bronze armor, and bronze leggings. He tells Tang that they should go now. They are heading to the Rhine Hills to level up. He will also teach him how to play an arcane mage along the way. They arrive at the Rhine Hills, which are pretty dark, and Yan explains that there are a lot of bat monsters in the caves of the Rhine Hills, and they drop bat teeth. Now he will give him an hour. He wants to see how many bat teeth he can farm on his own. Tang tells him to stay and watch and charges in. Immediately, a bat notices and charges out of the cave, but Tang pulverizes it with his flames. Yan decides not to stay still and just wait, so he moves on to a different part of the cave where he begins taking out bats with relative ease. Half an hour passes, and he begins to wonder how Tang is doing on his end. Suddenly though, Tang calls him and asks to be saved, as he is being cornered by red-named players, which are players who have been penalized by the system for illegally killing other players in-game. If he is not mistaken, Tang believes they are from the Radiant Holy Flame Guild. Yan immediately rushes in, but Tang tells him to relax. He is taking them on a detour so they won't be able to catch him anytime soon. Yan asks how he ran into them, and he doesn't really know either. He was just killing bad monsters and happened to bump into a level 3 leader grade boss. He arrives at their location, and they are guarding the entrance as expected. Azure Drake, the level 3 elemental mage leader, asks if they've caught the kid yet, and his lackey tells him not to worry, as he cannot escape. Though looking at that kid, he doesn't seem to have any good equipment on him. He's probably just a broke loser. Yan just scoffs. If a red name player is killed, all the equipment on their body will drop. If he is not mistaken, is that a red name elemental mage, perhaps wearing a fire chaser set? He uses stealth and thinks that, since the other party dares to corner people with red name status, they must be extremely confident in their own. He disappears as he lands down, and Azure Drake sees something right through Yan as he charges in. He dashes away and notes that he has been waiting for him a long time. He probably has his eyes on his equipment, right? Does he have the skill to take it? He uses a violent ring of fire and unleashes it all around, right into Yan, who thinks that this elemental mage knows how to play. He can't let him open up the distance, so he immediately uses a speed scroll, which grants him 20% speed for 30 seconds. Yan immediately charges in on Azure Drake, who is surprised that he just charged through his fire ring. Why is his speed so fast anyway? Yan uses Assassinate, dealing 40 damage, and Azure Drake becomes desperate, unleashing a searing pyroblast all around him, while another warrior charges in and claims that Yan is using a speed scroll, which is true. The warrior unleashes a flame slash, but Yan simply deflects it, causing him to only take 13 damage. Another of the group, a priest, unleashes a holy strike, but Yan simply dodges and goes back into Azure Drake. The casting time for searing pyroblast is 5 seconds, meaning there is still time. Sure enough, before he can cast another blast, Yan uses stun on him, before cutting him apart again, and again, and again. He manages to get out of the last strike, and screams at his subordinates to do something, as he will die if they don't. The warrior claims that the thief's speed is way too fast, faster than any thief they've ever seen before. They can't catch him at all. The warrior uses charge desperately, but Yan gets out of the way and jumps back toward Azure Drake, using one last vital strike to eliminate him. Since he has killed a red-named player, he gains 1 prestige point. The higher his prestige, the easier it is to receive quests, and he will also enjoy certain amounts of discounts on items purchased in the city. The warrior, seeing his boss's items drop, immediately charges in, thinking that he cannot let this thief grab them, but Yan has already done so. That fire chaser set is his. The warrior unleashes a linear sword slash, dealing 17 damage to Yan, who immediately dashes away, but he is struck by the priest with a bunch of holy strikes as he does so. However, Yan uses a combat bandage, and with his speed being extremely fast, they will not be able to catch him. The priest sees that he has a bandage skill, meaning that all the damage they've done has been restored. Yan is back to his perfect state, his health is full, and his skills have also cooled down. He rushes in on the warrior, who thinks that he is strong enough to face him. But Yan simply jumps on his blade and unleashes a vital strike before using Assassinate, dealing amazing damage at once. The warrior, in desperation, unleashes a bunch of thrown strikes all around, but Yan uses his crossbow to deal 15 damage, making the warrior almost lose his entire HP bar. Seeing this, he begins running away. If he keeps chasing this thief, he might end up dropping his own equipment too. Yan is surprised though. Did he really expect that he could get away? Before the warrior can do anything, he is killed, and Yan grabs his loot too. Now it's the priest's turn, who asks how he is the only one left. He is just a priest. How could he possibly be a match for a thief? Yan doesn't care. He seemed pretty happy when they were the ones blessing him with holy light, right? So now he should return that favor in kind, although his strikes are anything but holy. Thank you for watching. See you next time.